Hey guys, and welcome to another Rome Total War battle. This is Biscuits of Biscuits Total War, giving you a 2 versus 2 31k rules. Now this one's a bit of a different game. As you can see, I've brought Thrace for this 31k game, and I'm playing alongside Pontus with this new Heaven member called Gestione, I believe. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I believe the guy is Belgium, so maybe it's a Flemish name, who knows, maybe he can correct me later on. But what I've done, I've brought Thrace, but I have actually slightly tweaked this Thrace build. Thrace's pikes are normally just normal phalanx pikemen, but what I've decided to do is slightly modded my Thrace army, and instead of phalanx pikemen I've actually got royal pikemen. So it's similar to the guys that you can see on the Macedonian builds. So I wanted to do this because I wanted Thrace to be a playable faction in 31k, and I wanted them to have a bit more of a oomph when it came to their infantry, because the phalanx pikemen, they're not the best in all honesty. So I've brought a bunch of royal pikemen, and I've brought some Bastani, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I brought 4 of them, and then a bunch of heavily upgraded archers. Now we're going to be playing up against the Germania. I'm playing against the Senate. So my logic was, well, if we're playing against Germans, the Germans will have to rush. And if they're going to try and rush into us, if we've got pikes, now we should be able to easily beat them. But you'll see exactly what happens, how the German scare tactic comes into play, and just literally how devastating it can be against our forces here. Now, I thought these guys, their morale will be a bit stronger because I've got royal pikemen, but I'm not sure, because maybe if I'm playing against Thrace, maybe the morale of these royal pikemen maybe is slightly lower than your standard royal pikemen when you use them with Macedon. That will certainly explain what happens in a few moments, but I don't want to spoil it too much for you guys, so I'll just quickly have a look at my ally's army. He's got a bunch of bronze shields pikemen, which is fairly standard, but what isn't standard, he's got a couple of Cappadocian cav and an armoured general. Most Pontic builds in 31k usually consist of 4 scythed chariots and 2 chariot archers, so something slightly different this time. I'm just going to triple speed it. Let's have a quick look at the opposition. So if we have a look, we're playing against Tig from the Brotherhood clan, and he's got your standard Germanian build. He's got 6 cav, 3 berserkers, 1 knight raider, I believe, and then the rest chosen axemen. And if we look at the Senate, he's got 3 archers, and the Senate is Zerberus. Again, he's got 3 archers and 5 Praetorian cav and a bunch of urbans. So our plan was really to let them come towards us, to try and stall the Senate and advance into the Germanian forces, because as you can see, their guys have got little to no armour, and if they charge straight into our pikes, they're going to be inflicting, or they're going to receive a lot of casualties. So that's what the plan was. But as any Rome Total War player would tell you, sometimes you have the world's best plan, but it doesn't always go to plan. So you can see my teammate sent one of his troops forward as a peeler screen in loose formation. I've come around the flank here of my guys. Now I can see the Germans are going to come on this wing here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to peel back my guys and send them over here to try and help my ally. At this stage, Tig has now activated his berserkers. So Tig's going to have no control over these berserkers. These berserkers are just going to run forward and hopefully run straight into these pikes. So you can see the Germans are running into these pikes. They're getting a lot of damage. I'm going to try and run my guys. Now, at this stage, we've got the upper hand, but now we can see this devastating cav blow. It's going to charge straight into these pikes. couple of the Germans are starting to rout, 2 of them are routed, but now this is when the Germans come into their play. Now you can see they've started a bit of a chain rout. My guys, I thought if I can run them in here, I can try and get a decent flank, but just check out my guys now. 1, 2, 3. Now these guys have got about 120 men in, if not more, and they're just chain routing. I haven't even got my guys into the battle hardly, and they're all running away. Over here, I've managed to stall the Senate forces with my Pistani. You can see doing a bit of damage, but what I was absolutely amazed by was just literally my guys have just absolutely, mass routed these 3 berserker units here in conjunction with the this cav charge. They just all ran away. And if you look at the units, some of them have got 74, 83, 83, 65, 110. There's plenty of units left. So they are going to come back from routing in a bit, but by the time they're coming back from routing, my allies been absolutely wiped up. Literally, the best part of this game happened within about 5 minutes. I have got a couple of guys left, and I thought if I can try and get them into a decent formation, I might be able to hold my ground. As you can see, I'm going to run them forward, get them into a close formation to try and hold up against these chosen axemen. But majority of our guys have all routed. These guys are now running amok, so they're killing both friend and foe at the moment. It's just a case of, I thought if I can hold the ground here, I might be able to impale these berserkers. I'm tapping down my backspace button, trying to get them to drop down their spears, but look, these guys are routed, they're routed. I'm going to try and peel these guys back to try and make a little defensive box, but it's too late. As much as I try and frantically tap, these guys now routed again, and they're routed. So I think at this stage, any moment now, I'm going to throw in the towel. It's well played on Tig's behalf and well played on Zerberus. I've never seen the German faction rout as many troops as that. As you can see, my guys didn't even get into to battle. They just got into close proximity of these Germans, and they just all pretty much fled. So that's really well played. I hope you guys enjoy that. Again, another crushing defeat by myself and my ally here. Zerberus got in a cracking 1,662 kills. Tig got in 1,500 kills. Pontus, Heaven got in 916. But if you look at my guys, I had nearly 2,000 guys deployed, and I've only managed to kill 336. So it really was quite a poor performance with my builds there. But hopefully I've learned something new from that. Maybe not to use Thrace ever again. But yeah, the Germans, really absolutely devastating. They've got that ability to cause fear in the opposition, and when used correctly, they can be devastating, as you can see there. So hope you guys enjoyed the game. Please do submit, send some little comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and check out more of my videos. So this is Biscuits signing out and wishing you all the best. Bye now.